Hey, I just wanted to make a quick video on my travel plans for the summer and where I want to go, what I want to do. So from pretty much the month of June, I'll be in Grand Junction, Colorado. I really love it out there. I went there 2 years ago. I went there back in 2019. I almost moved there, but then I ended up moving to Salt Lake City instead because the apartment I wanted in Grand Junction, it's a small little mountain, not mountain town, but in the valley between Salt Lake City and Denver. It's on the desert side of Colorado, close to Moab. It's very beautiful, very different than Denver and the kind of the forests and the mountains. It's got mesas, it's very beautiful, and I love it there. I'm just gonna be there for a month because for Airbnbs, it's a lot cheaper to just have a month to stay at a place rather than do it individually day by day. And I need an opportunity to take this car out to a place I enjoy that has BLM, Bureau of Land Management, public land. So that really comes in handy in terms of just the accessibility for shooting guns, off-roading, just having fun. Grand Junction, and then I'll be in Salt Lake City a little bit too. So Salt Lake City will be, I might go there a little bit earlier to get some leather work done for my gun. I got a new 4570 Henry repeating rifle, so I need to get a leather sling with a bandolier on it. And I have a really good friend who's a leather worker in Utah, so I want him to do that for me. Yeah, I'm excited to go to Utah and Colorado. The road trip out there, I may make it quick just to get it to Salt Lake City as soon as possible, because I'm going to be there a few days before I go to Grand Junction. So do I want to go down to New Mexico? Do I want to go up through Nebraska or maybe Montana or whatever and come back down to Utah? Or do I just want to do a straight shot, get to Salt Lake City as soon as possible, not spend too much time on hotels or money? And because, you know, all this money and everything you spend on the travel, it really does add up pretty quick, unfortunately. Yeah, I'm excited to go out there. I think it should be a great time. Utah, Colorado, New Mexico, Arizona, the American Southwest really speaks to my heart and what makes me happy. I love the off-roading out there compared to here because I've got BF Goodrich KO2 tires, which suck notoriously in the mud. If you remember Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park when he was escaping the the island, his KO2 tires got stuck in the mud, and the spitting dinosaur came and ate him. So yeah, I'm excited to be out there. I'm going to try to get on my fitness. I'm going to try to eat healthy. You know, the last time I was there was May 2022, and at the time I was trying to get into OCS for the United States Marine Corps, and I was a lot more fit then. Right now I'm 178 pounds. There I was 160 to 165. So I've kind of let myself go because I went to OCS for a week and I quit. So I left. I didn't medical disqualify. I just straight up left. It wasn't for me. I had a good engineering job and just didn't think the Marine Corps being an officer was the right path for me. And I didn't think I was physically fit at the time to continue my training for the remaining 10 weeks. So Grand Junction and just being out of Ohio for a little bit will give me a little bit of a passion and just spark, and just reinvigorate me and my soul. And being on that open road and being on the desert, seeing the sunsets, seeing the mountains, it'll make me happy. I don't really like the mountains down here in the Appalachia area. There's not too much public land, and sometimes you feel like it's a bit racist down here sometimes. Not that I have any concerns with that personally, but from an impression, when I go to a small Appalachian town, you see a nice car driven by a person of color. It doesn't always make people feel very appreciated. It's almost kind of insulting, and it's not really fair to some of those small Appalachian towns to be kind of flexing in those areas. So I try to avoid it. And whereas out west, I feel like there's just a lot of open land that you can just avoid people if you don't want any confrontation. You can pass through town, nobody gives a shit. It's totally fine, and you don't have to worry about people giving you weird looks or anything like that. I've only experienced that in Colorado when I was driving an Escalade, just a small town, and you know, maybe it's my perception, maybe it's just something I have to be aware of, because when I'm in a less diverse town, I'm Indian, born and raised here in Ohio, but my parents are from India, and out west, people predominantly think I am I'm Hispanic or mixed or black because my name's Omar, and without glasses sometimes and with certain outfits, I can look very Hispanic, and unfortunately, it gives people an opportunity to profile you. But fortunately, me being who I am, I'm very open-minded to people. So once they hear me talk, I sound whiter than most white people, and they're like, you know what, he's pretty chill. But I can't wait to lose some weight. I don't feel like myself, you know, I feel kind of like I'm just existing, purposeless. So it'll be a good opportunity to get out west and just kind of enjoy my liberation from Ohio for a little bit, and then come back home. I got a little bit of mud on my car. I took it to my friend's farm over the weekend. That's pretty cool. I just christened it with some mud. I got it mostly cleared off. I went to the car wash and just sprayed it out because I didn't want the paint to get too damaged. But you can still see a little bit of just a little bit of mud just stuck up here, and I got rock sliders coming in this week. But overall, the car is looking great. It'll look a little bit more complete with the rock sliders. And I'm getting an ARB twin onboard air compressor. So that should be really nice to air down and air up very quickly. I love the profile of this car. I think it looks really slick, especially the front bumper. That's my favorite part, I think. Just a really cool, just an awesome, just great car. I love how smooth it is, even with the KO2 tires. It's not so bad. I have a little bit of rub, and I think that's to be expected. Yeah, those are just my little travel plans, things I want to do. Yeah, I love, I would love to move back out west, but I've realized that born and raised in Cincinnati, Ohio, where your friends and family are, this is where my home is personally. So as the loneliness sets in real quick, so that's why I'm doing just a month at a time, coming back to Ohio, recharging, seeing my friends and family, going back out west. I am also just a little bit, I know it's kind of stupid, but all the miles I'm going to put on the suspension going back and forth and back and forth, feels kind of weird, but this is what I made the car for, to drive it. I didn't just want to take this to the REI store and just look cool with all the other 4x4s. I wanted to actually use this car, and I'm going to use it. I'm going to put some mud on it. I'm going to be a redneck about it. All right, I'm just going to just use it as God intended me to use this car, and I will I'll take it places where most people probably wouldn't. But I'm not going to do any extreme Moab like Hell's Gate or things like that. I kind of avoid those things just because I'm not that experienced. Black Bear Pass in Telluride, Colorado, I probably would avoid. I'm not that experienced, and this is a big car. I feel like those are easier for the smaller Jeeps. So yeah, I don't know. I'm just excited to see where it takes me. You know, it'll be a good opportunity to get out west for a little bit. If you have any suggestions of things I should see on the way, so my goal is to go through, the route's going to take me through Illinois. I may avoid Illinois because I have guns and people say always avoid them, but I've had no issue through Illinois. I always keep it safe, locked in the trunk, no ammo, loaded in the gun. But it'll take me through Nebraska, North Platte, Nebraska. It'll take me through Cheyenne to get to Salt Lake City, and then it'll take me down through I-80 or something like that in Utah. So it'll be a fun road trip. It'll be quick. I've done it before. Or I could take my time and go through Texas, maybe like El Paso or something. I come up through New Mexico again. I love New Mexico. New Mexico is a cool place, but it feels a bit dangerous. I don't know why. Maybe Breaking Bad has that impression for me, but it makes me feel like a little apprehensive just being in New Mexico sometimes. But yeah, what a beautiful day here in Ohio, and I'm gonna miss just being here, being home, but I do for my own soul, for my own fulfillment and my own happiness. I'm not married, I don't have any kids. I've got a great job, but I don't necessarily find fulfillment in my work. I need to be out. Otherwise I go insane being in one place. Unfortunately, I am blessed to have that privilege where I can work remote and I can do those things. So I never It feels like I'm complaining sometimes personally, but I don't take it for granted, the opportunities and the blessing that I have to be able to do what I'm able to do, and I'm able to take that journey. And I look at it this way: there's so many people suffering in life, and unfortunately their lot is already destined, right? There's kids born in horrible conditions all across the world, and they may live and die in that very slum or village or whatever they might be from, and they'll never see the light of day. They'll never see another place outside of that. So I feel like their death would be in vain if I did not take my life's opportunities that God has blessed me with to enjoy and explore life. And that doesn't mean I should be vain or pompous or arrogant. I should do my charity, I should do this, I should do that. But just because someone else is suffering doesn't mean I need to limit how I live my life. But it doesn't mean I should turn a blind eye to other people's sufferings. But there's only so much limiting things that you can do to help other people. You know, like going to a protest or something like that is cool, but what did you actually do at the end of the day? Do you know what I mean? The people in power who can actually do something would have already done it if it was financially viable for them. So I kind of just pray, do my thing, hope for the best, and if there's something I can do to help someone on an individual level, I'll do that. And when you are traveling, when you are road tripping, you find those encounters and you find those people and you find those amazing friends that you meet off of short interactions. People come talk to you about your car, just whatever. They see your guns, they're like, oh, that's really cool, man, whatever. That's something that I enjoy, just being out west, especially in the middle of the country, because it's not the Midwest, it's less diverse, so they don't see people like me very often. So it's very refreshing to hear people just curious. They're not racist, they're just in a nice way, just ignorant about your life and your culture, and they just want to know it. There are some genuinely racist people out there, but you kind of know who those are. And I'll tell you what, I've been to homes with Confederate flags, and I felt more at peace and more welcome at people's homes with Confederate flags in the South than I did in Seattle, in a very liberal area that kind of tokenizes people of color. Like, oh, I've got an Indian friend, I've got a black friend, I've got this, you know. I find more racism in the Seattles and the Portlands and the New York Cities than I do in the Deep South. Because in the Deep South, if you do hear the banjo music, you know to go the other way. So, I don't know, maybe I'll go down the Deep South and then cut across Lake Charles, Louisiana, go to Beaumont, Texas, and just keep going down that route where all the gators are. But yeah, just a little bit about me, just a little bit about my car, just a little bit of ranting, maybe some political vibes or whatever. But yeah, that's just who I am, and can't wait to be out west.